Welcome back to the Tuolumne County Chamber of Commerce Candidates Night, as heard this evening on AM 1450 and FM 102.7 KVML, and streamed on mymotherlode.com. I'm Michael Ayala. That's getting harder to say. So let me read your introductions, and then we'll turn it back to you two for your opening statement. So John is the current District 4 Supervisor. His previous work experience covers a span of more than 30 years in senior management, including 12 years as the General Manager of the Pine Mountain Lake Homeowners Association. He has been an active member of the community, serving on the board of the Oak Grove Cemetery District, 7 years on the Southern Tuolumne County Planning Commission, and as a past director on the board of the Groveland Community Services District. John was elected as your 4th District County Supervisor in 2008 and was chairman of the Board of Supervisors for Tuolumne County in 2011 and in 2015. He has served on numerous committees and panels during his first and second terms on the board. His current committee assignments include Tuolumne County Transportation Committee, Tuolumne County Transit Authority, Tuolumne County Economic Development, Board of Supervisors Planning Committee, Board of Supervisors Transportation Committee, and Area 12 on Aging, Yosemite Gateway Partners, Airport Committee, and the Solid Waste. For Don Matter, considers himself a family man. I want to make sure I said that right. Don has been married for 28 years to his wife, Corrine, and together they have 6 children. The Matter family has lived in Tuolumne County for the past 14 years. He has been a general contractor for 30 years, working on projects ranging from building a fence to a construction of a Walmart, as well as a corporate working superintendent who has dealt with million-dollar budgets. His expertise in working with large budgets, community projects, and being able to build relationships is the kind of conduct he will bring as supervisor of Tuolumne County's 4th District. With that, I will turn it over for opening statements to Don Matter and then John.
Hi, my name's Don Matter. Thank you to the Chamber for having us, and thank you to all you folks that are out there listening, watching, and in the audience for participating in this election. My experience uniquely qualifies me to understand and achieve results within government organizations and private firms, both inside and outside of the county. I have an advantage because I've come from a different place and moved here, and one of the things I can do is reach out to those other places and other people. I've done projects all over the state and in other states that gives me connections to help build different businesses and bring those things to our local economy. Thank you.
And John.
Okay, you know, they say that when we're born, our brain begins to work immediately, and it stops working when we start to speak in public. And that's sometimes the way I feel. I want to thank you for the opportunity to be here today. It's an important to be able to let the public know what a candidate's about. I'm a 4th generation Tuolumne County native. I've lived and worked here most of my life. I did leave for a number of years to go to school and work in the Bay Area, so I haven't been closed to what's going on in the world. I have the background and life experience for this job. As my bio says, I have a lot of management experience. When running for a re-election, I made a number of promises to the voters. Some of those were to establish professional relationships with fellow board members. If you look at the wall back there, you can see we have adopted a set of values and codes of ethics to work full-time to develop goals and policies that would benefit the taxpayer. We have done that. To set priorities that would increase the efficiency of county government. We have combined departments that have helped streamline the development process. You know, have an opportunity to meet with development people when you have a project. So I have worked tirelessly in the last 8 years for Tuolumne County, and I wish to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, the first question will be posed by Lynn Riddle to Don.
South County residents have complained in the recent past about a perception that the county doesn't care about them as much as the other parts of the county. What have you done? or what do you propose to do to address this perception?
Well, I think that yeah, that is a perception that is real to people in Groveland and Don Pedro areas. What I would do personally is to try to be more attentive, try to be more understanding of where they're at. I think one of the things that happen in Groveland to feel that way is lost bus service. We're now getting some police up there. That's been kind of a mixed bag of things, and so I think some of those things are coming around, but I think we need to work harder to include them because they feel left out.
John?
It's interesting. I think that if you had asked any supervisor setting supervisor right now, they would all tell you that they're not getting enough services in their area. It's a common theme. When you have a small county with limited resources, that does happen. But I do know what we have done for the Groveland area that are a lot of positive things. You know, we have a new youth center in Groveland. No one else in the county has a new youth center. My opponent spoke about the bus service. The bus service was discontinued because it has to meet a rate box recovery. But we do have a bus service. We have a bus that's paid for by Yosemite National Park starting this week with 3 routes a day from Sonora to Yosemite. So you're not going to solve everybody's wishes, but I do feel that I've worked very hard to help the people of the community, to bring things to the community and to the schools.
Thank you. And the second question from Margaret Davis to John Gray.
John, rural regions of California are facing many challenges. What do you consider to be the #1 critical issue facing Tuolumne County and why? What is your solution to the issue or problem?
You know, I was listening earlier to the city council questions, and funding for rural counties is always an issue. We do draw the short straw in many cases. Money isn't the answer to everything, but it certainly will help you as far as bringing the services that we need. I think that what we need to do is to continue the process that we have developed with our existing board and with economic development to work very hard to bring in businesses and jobs. We have to work collaboratively with our government agencies. I believe we have a good relationship with them, and that we didn't always have. So those are the type of things that we would have to do.
I believe one of our biggest problems is our lack of religion and morality in the area. We're seeing a lot more crime, a lot more things happening because people are lacking self-governing. Once you take religion and morality out, you lose democracy. I think we're threatened by that at this point, and I think we need to begin to rebuild those type of structures, religion, morality, by reaching out to these organizations and asking for their help. I think we also need to bring out some programs for people that are having drug issues and whatnot that would not make them such a criminal, but make them aware of that they need to have a better morality.
All right, and the third question posed by B.J. Hanson, starting with Don Matter.
Don, this area saw the Rim Fire in 2013. Calaveras County had the Butte Fire last year. There's still massive pockets of vegetation in this county that are prime for wildfire. What specific things would you like the county to do to try to prevent the next big one?
Well, that's a good question. And one of my things is to try to be proactive. I think we should have been proactive about 8 years ago or more than that to start weeding out the forest. And I think we've been hindered by some of the environmental stipulations that we've had. And now we're seeing we're reaping the benefits of that, which aren't very good. And so I think with Tracy and the team that they have in the tree mortality, doing a great job of playing catch up. But we need to get ahead of the other parts and also forest those as well.
Same question to John Gray.
Okay, as my opponent has stated, we are in the process of developing and working on a plan to remove what is already dead. We're ahead of any other rural county in the state with the process right now. We have a team made up of PG&E, CAL FIRE, our county. We're able to do what we can do right now in this county with that process because we do have places to take it. This is just the beginning, and I can't say that it started 8 years ago. It started 25 years ago, 50 years ago, when we decided to change the way we manage our forest. We let it overgrow. We would have a lot less dead trees, even with this drought, if we would have been able to log it to the level that we had in the past. So those are past problems. We just have to work forward with what we're doing now.
And the fourth question from Lynn, starting with John, I believe.
This is a question from, actually two questions from the audience that are similar. I'm going to combine them. What is your stand concerning opening medical marijuana dispensaries in Tuolumne County? And what's your stance on regulating cannabis as agriculture?
As it stands right now, I do not, and I'm answering this question at the present. I do not believe I want to see Tuolumne County as a grow county. I do believe there is a place for medical marijuana. I just don't want it to be a center business that Tuolumne County is known to be the place where marijuana is grown in the state of California. We're going to face some really big challenges. We do know that there will be a ballot measure that will be legalizing recreational marijuana. I do not believe in recreational marijuana. So, to take a position on exactly what we should be doing, we're going to have to depend on the guidance that we get from the state of California when those laws are put in place or adopted.
Yeah, as a supervisor, you uphold the law that is in the land. Right now, we have a limited marijuana grow plan, and I think that's something we should adhere to. I am too not for recreational marijuana or any other recreational drugs. But I think, unfortunately, unless we turn the morality around of people, you're going to see more of that stuff happening.
All right, we have time for one more question for this District 5 candidates. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Margaret Davis.
It's 4, sir.
District 4, sorry about that.
Who started that one? John? John?
Margaret to Don.
John? We talked about business. What experience do you have that would lead the business community to believe your election would be good for business? What would you do to bring long-term businesses and higher-paying jobs to Tuolumne County?
Well, I think one of the things, I've done a lot of different construction projects. Walmart was mentioned, one of them. Another one's I've built several Caldwell Banker offices in rural towns of Palo Alto and Woodside. One of the things is to reach out to other communities and invite them to what we have. Another idea that I had was there's a project in Groveland that's on hold. I think it would be a perfect idea to match it with a UC Davis extension. UC Davis has a research center up in Tahoe, and I think they would do really well to have one up in Groveland.
John?
Could you repeat the question,
Okay.
please?
What experience do you have that would lead the business community to believe your election would be good for business? What would you do to bring long-term businesses and higher-paying jobs to Tuolumne County?
Okay, as was stated in my bio, I do serve on Tuolumne County Economic Development Authority Board. I've been on that board for 7 years. I believe that we have developed a very good work plan for economic development. Economic development, what you have to do is create the conditions for economic growth. You have to get people together. You have to know where the markets are, and that's why we hired Larry Cope. Learned a tremendous lot in the last 7 years working with Mr. Cope and my fellow board members, and I believe we're on track. I believe we're doing some really good things. Just getting the mill back open was a tremendous undertaking, and I believe it would not have happened if we hadn't established the Economic Development Authority. So I do have extensive experience, many years of experience of building on economic growth.
All right, now we'll go to closing statement. You'll have 2 minutes each. We'll start with Don.
When voting for the next supervisor, what matters most is When voting for the next supervisor, what matters most is choosing someone who knows how to reach out and connect and listen to the needs of the community, families, and individuals in order to get things done. What matters most is choosing someone who knows how to draw in resources and address challenges and solve real problems. This is why I'm asking for your vote on June 7th. I am running to improve the vitality in the community, support our families, and provide a betterment for each individual in order to do what we must to revitalize the District 4 community. I'm asking for your vote on June 7th. Thank you.
Thank you. And John Gray?
Okay, first, my opponent, he's a fine man. He's a gentleman. He's a family man. He's a really good person. And the things that he talks about of being for, I think we're all for those. I think Supervisor Brennan earlier today said that we all want the best for everybody else. But in order to do that, you have to have the qualifications and the experience to do that. I believe I have those. I have the experience. I am able to work with people. I'm able to step across the line. I have been an effective supervisor, and I want to continue to be an effective supervisor. My job is not done. I want your vote, so please vote for me. Thank you.
Thank you. And while we head into our last break, for our radio audience and to our audience here, thank you for your courtesy and your attentiveness. You're listening to the Tuolumne County Chamber of Commerce Candidates Night. We're going to take a 4-minute break and return with more candidates on the Mother Lodes News Station, AM 1450 and FM 102.7 KVML, and streamed on mymotherlode.com. And now, we're into that 4-minute break. Thank you.